Well, hello again, everybody. And again, thank you for joining us for our presentation on Basis International School Hangzhou. We appreciate you joining us here this evening for those that are in the Western Hemisphere. And good morning to all of those in the East and Asia that are joining us there. We have people joining us from most continents around the world today. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us. We're excited to share some insights about one of our schools that we do have as part of the Basis International Schools Network. Basis International School Hangzhou. Today we'll cover information about Basis International Schools, what a career with our organization looks like. We'll specifically talk about Basis International School Hangzhou and the particular campus, what that is like, some of what we're looking for in individuals that we're hiring for the school. And we'll also touch on benefits and visa requirements joining us in China. And then we'll also have a Q&A session at the end. So for those of you that have questions along the way, you can use the Q&A button that is at the bottom of your system. And we will track the questions as we move through, and then we'll answer the questions at the end. So thanks for joining us. Those who will be speaking today include myself. My name is Tim Smith, and I'm the Vice President of Global Talent for Basis International Schools. We also have joining with us the head of school at Basis International School, Kira Geilis, as well as Tony Cagle, who is the international recruiter who handles the recruiting for positions at our school in Hangzhou. All right, so starting off with Basis International Schools. What is it like to work with Basis International Schools? A few of the things really stand out to me as I have conversations with our teachers in, what is it like to be with Basis? What do you like about being here? Why do you stay? And a number of the things that stand out is, number one, I frequently hear about the great colleagues that teachers have to work with. Many times I've heard, these are the best colleagues I've ever taught with. We have teachers from all over the world with different approaches, experience in different curricula, different strengths, and they're able to learn really a lot from the colleagues. On top of that, the individual we look for really have deep insights and knowledge in their discipline, as well as a great passion for teaching. And so working with individuals that have that great passion and really want to be exceptional teachers is something that cultivates that culture within our schools. And having a great collaborative environment with great people is something I constantly hear about. Secondly, one of the other things that stands out that I hear of is they really appreciate the academic focused culture. We do have a culture that has fairly high expectations, both expectations of ourselves as well as expectations for our students that leads to great outcomes for them. The curriculum that we do have is, it is a bit more accelerated, it is challenging, but really encourages rigor and achievement, and through some of that rigor, it builds the types of qualities that we look for to build in our students, resilience, and being able to see they can overcome challenges and obstacles. Third piece is really being a part of the Basis network. So being a part of the Basis network, we have very highly respected schools, and being able to grow a career is something that is unique. Individuals that want to take on new responsibilities as we continue to open new schools within our network. Individuals that have the traits we're looking for to take on additional responsibilities, whether it's to be a founding faculty member or to take on a department chair role or to move into an administration type of a position. We have those opportunities in our organization as we continue to grow, open new schools, and look for individuals who really understand the Basis culture and environment that we want to establish in each of the new cultures and continue in our current schools. Is something also that really stands out. So being able to transition and grow your career within a network, or if you want to transition to a new location, or for those individuals that want to repatriate back to the States, we have schools in the US where you can transition to, and you don't have to conduct a whole new career search all over again to find that next step in your career. Lastly, the thing that very consistently stands out when I have conversations with teachers is they really appreciate the Basis students. You're teaching and working with students who are very engaged, who really want to learn, they want to excel, they appreciate learning. Some things really stand out. Multiple teachers have said, other schools I've had student hours and occasionally a student will come in, but with Basis, they always come in they're there. They want to learn. They want the enhancement. They want to, learn the additional, things that we're seeing, or answer questions that might not be a part of the textbook. And they really engage, and they really want to learn. They're creative. They're smart. They're fun. They really do a lot for the school, and really want to build community. Some things that we hear in terms of what is it like to be a part of BASIS International Schools. Something else that we want to touch on is so why teach in China? So a few things that have really stood out to teachers that have been there is, number one, the great convenient modern living that you do have in Hangzhou, as well as many of the cities throughout China. It's super modern. The public transportation is very efficient. The subway system is great. In fact, we have a new stop that will be opening up just right across the street from our school, making transportation even easier. But the subways are clean. There's cutting edge technology. It's a very safe environment for people to live in. Particularly, I hear a lot that because culturally education is so highly valued and teachers are deeply appreciated, is something that teachers feel such a great sense of fulfillment in being able to teach and being able to work with students that are engaged, and having the respect that some have felt they haven't had as strong of a sense for in other parts of the world. And it's something that really stands out with the students and the culture that's in China. Last piece is really experiencing a new culture, being part of a dynamic country that has become such a prominent fixture within the global world that we participate in, and being able to really blend Eastern and Western experiences, philosophies, backgrounds, and perspectives is something that really stands out. One of the teachers that I spoke with, he said one of the biggest draws of coming to China for him was that China is becoming such a prominent, has such a prominent role in the world today, in being able to, number one, understand where people within China come from, and secondly, being able to influence students to be able to provide Eastern and Western perspectives as they grow and become future leaders within such a prominent country, is a really unique opportunity to participate in. And it's something that said that he's just absolutely loved, and was a big reason why he chose to come to China. All right, so some things that we really want to touch on is particularly about our mission. And our mission is something that, it's not just a statement for us. It's not a poster that sits on the wall. It's something that's actually really quite meaningful for us, is that we really want to provide our students with a transformative education with a cutting edge BASIS curriculum, and through exceptional teaching, as well as faculty mentoring. We really want to produce students that have intellectual capabilities, international perspectives, that have the critical thinking skills and proficiency, as well as creative problem solving skills to be future leaders in our academic and future professional lives. Is something that it's what really drives us, and what we're very focused on in terms of the outcomes of what we're looking for, and the abilities and skills we want to develop in our students. And particularly as it relates to teachers, going back to the collaborative environment that we do have, it really is a great focus on exceptional teaching and faculty mentoring that stands out as part of the experience working with BASIS, and something that is of significant and increasing focus for us as we look for the best teachers around the world. And essentially, one of the promises that we do make is, if you join BASIS, you will leave a better teacher than you were when you joined, because of the great perspectives you're able to learn and pick up and develop through a lot of the mentoring that we've established. All right, so what we'd like to do is move on to speak very specifically about our wonderful school in Hangzhou. And to do so, I'd like to introduce Kira Gailis, who is the head of school of BASIS International School in Hangzhou. So Kira, I'll go ahead and turn it to you and let you share about your school.
Well, thank you, Tim, so much. I'm very, very happy to be with you all this morning in China, and whatever time it is, wherever you're joining us for today. I just wanted to give a little bit of an understanding of who I am, and as an international educator, I graduated from a university in the U.S. and then went off to have an international career. And for 30 years, I've been in education, and 25 of those years have been in abroad in Russia, China, Latvia, Indonesia, 5 of those back in the States. And I just recently returned back to China to work here at a basis school. I'm very excited about our school and our facilities. As you can see, we have green space. A green space within a very large city is many times hard to find. So I laugh when our teachers in our Hangzhou basis campus talk about our lack of outdoor space. And I'm like, go to Shenzhen, go to some of the other campuses, because, you know, big city life is big city life. But as you can see, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful facilities. Basically, the only thing we don't have is a swimming pool. And in China, some of the schools now have swimming pools, but we're very excited to be able to have facilities with the full library and the gym and the outdoor space, and as well as the opportunities for technology. So when you talk about our school and the teachers and the people who work at our school, Tim, could you go on to the next slide? If you talk about who we are as a group of people, one of the things that we talk about at our school is being a learning community. And whether you're a student or you're a parent or you're a teacher, that we should all be congenial, collegial, and collaborative in our efforts on our campus. And I think that's been a highlight of our school, is that when you walk in the door and you walk through our school, the congeniality that you see when you walk in. When I arrived to our campus last year, people were just, I'm so glad you're here, and so incredibly welcoming. And you know, a lot of international schools are that way, but with working all over the world, I have been very happy to see that this school started with that type of mission, and we continue in that way. When you talk about our teachers, we have incredibly, incredibly talented teachers who help our students to become the best possible person that they could be. And as you can see in this slide, you know, we have incredible, incredible successes, whether it's World Scholars Club, whether it's in Model United Nations, speech and debate, all of those type of competitions and clubs. But that's just one piece of it. We also have a very, very strong advanced placement program for our students. And we have teachers who their averages are like 4.9 and 4.5, and really at the top of the basis spectrum, to be honest. And I sometimes am quite surprised at that because this is only our 4th year of existence. We only have our first graduating class this year, but we're happy to say we're right on track with early decision. The majority of our students have applied for those top universities, and we're excited to see what happens at the end of this school year. One of the things too, when we talk about our results and our school and the rigor, one of the most important areas I think that we can talk about is the ELL or EAL or ESL, wherever you come from, what it's called. But it's really, really important to us to be differentiating for our students. So we also at our school have measurement of academic progress, which is called MAP. And we use this to differentiate instruction in our classroom so that we're able to actually see the results in the end, the process. We deal with the process, and then as we really deal with the process of education and of learning for each student, our product is quite incredible. So we're very much excited about that. Tim, could you go on to the next slide? And then our faculty. I talked a little bit about our faculty, and to be honest, when you join Basis Hangzhou, it's a little bit different than some of the other schools that I have worked in. Some of the other schools had a little bit higher expat community and people from all over the world that had joined the school. And our school is more of a Chinese international school, but because of our faculty, the dedication of our faculty, our incredible building, the successes that I just talked about in academics, we truly are well known in our community, in our city. I was at a recent Hangzhou municipal government event, and I looked around and I was invited, and I thought, where are the rest of the heads of schools in the city? And to be honest, there weren't. I was the only one. So that tells you the ranking of our school within the city itself, and how important the Hangzhou government feels, or the difference that our school is making. One of the things too, Hangzhou, it's talking a little bit more about the city, but also about the teachers, and understanding as you come to work in an incredible school like Hangzhou, school in Hangzhou, is the city itself. So if we look at some of the slides in relation to the city and talk about the city of Hangzhou, incredible sites. As you can see, the lake is in the center of the city, which is absolutely beautiful, along with the ancient ruins and the most beautiful modern buildings, Shishi wetlands, and you can go just 20-30 minutes from your home and you're in a mountainous area, and tea plantations and hiking and all of that. So that's an incredible part of living in Hangzhou. But to balance that, let's get back to school life, because the two go together. The city itself is beautiful. The city has so much history, but it's also a tech hub. Artificial intelligence, all the things that are happening in China right now, many of those companies are based in Hangzhou. So our families are very educated families, and who are at the forefront of much of the modernization and globalization of China. So as you come to Hangzhou and to our school, that's just something that a teacher should have in the back of their mind, that's the type of parent, that's the type of student that our school is servicing, which is actually really exciting. I could name right now very many of the companies that you all know that are well-established companies in China that are manufacturing and sending things all over the world, and most of their high executives, their children are in our school. And so let's go on to the next city side. Again, just talking about our city. To be honest, the going out on a Friday night and just going out to dinner and walking a few city blocks is just amazing, because the types of buildings that you can see in our city, it's mind-boggling how beautiful it is, to be honest. An evening walk in our downtown area, and these buildings are 10-minute taxi ride from our school. You can go on to the next slide, Tim.
Great. Well, thanks, Kira. Before we move on to next category, anything else you want to share about the school or the city?
I think I'm fine for now. There could be some questions, and I'm happy to answer the questions at the end.
Sounds good. I will add, Hangzhou is actually one of my favorite cities in China as well. Beautiful, great mix of, it's one of the oldest cities in China. And you have that great blend of great ancient culture with the hyper modern experience that Kira had mentioned as well. All right, we're going to.
I actually can add, apologies for interrupting. I can add this one piece. It was interesting because my last 4 years were in the States, and I worked in a Chinese immersion school in the US. And when I said to my Chinese colleagues that I'm moving to Hangzhou, their mouths just fell open, most of them. And they said, if I was to go back to China to live, that is the city that I'd want to live in. So I agree with you. I've lived in other cities in China, and it's just incredible. You can't even explain it. You just have to be here to know. Isn't that true, Tim?
Yep, frequently rated as one of the most beautiful cities in China. So, great place. All right, we're going to move on to some of the aspects of what to anticipate in terms of what is provided. So Tony is going to share that with us. Tony.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you today. Today, I'll just be covering our expat package, what's included and what you can expect if you come join our team. So on top of a very competitive salary, we do offer travel benefits. We will provide you travel to and from China at the beginning and end of your contract, as well as we have an annual travel allowance that allows you to travel home every year, or some teachers have done is they use that money to do some travel and exploration of China and the surrounding areas. We do provide housing as well. So if you were coming over as a single teacher, we provide usually a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment. And if you have dependents, then we do provide a 2-bedroom apartment for you. We do have a stipend as well. So if you have a neighborhood or another area that you choose not to live in, typically our apartments are near the school, but if you have another area that you're interested in, you can get a stipend for that as well. We do provide global health coverage for you and your family when you come over. This will cover you not only while you're in China, but globally as well. So when you return home, and we do have tuition benefits for up to 2 children. If you come over with a spouse who's also a teacher, then you can actually get tuition for up to 3 children. And we do provide schools for you and your children while you're on campus. And I hear the chefs are pretty amazing, and it's something to check out. We do have great retirement benefit as well. So at the end of each year, you will get a 10% retirement benefit to put towards a retirement program of your choice, as well as there is a 3-year completion bonus and things of that nature. When you come to the end of your contract, some other things to note is because we are, an international school and we're growing, this is a great opportunity for you to look at our other schools and see if maybe you want to transfer over and work with some of our other locations. Great. Now, just to be aware, we do have some requirements, in what we're looking for in a teacher. For our first requirement, we are looking for people who are passionate about teaching and who are experts in their area. So we do require that you have a degree in your teaching subject. Because we found, if you are investing the time to get that degree, then you are most likely very passionate about that area. You are an expert in that subject area. So we find that really helps our students and makes really great teachers. We do require that you have 2 years of full-time teaching experience. That's for your visa process. So that's something to be aware of. And again, like I said already, we're looking for passionate teachers. We can't, stress that enough. We're looking for somebody, who wants to be in the classroom, who wants to be working with students. We are also looking for teachers who are looking to collaborate and learn learn to grow and, learn from each other. I think that's really important in being a teacher. I know when I was in the classroom, I was always, looking to see what other people were doing. So we're looking for those teachers that are willing to work with each other and elevate each other and really grow as a whole school. And across the BASIS network. We are looking for teachers who have high standards for themselves, high standards for the students, and who have the ability to scaffold so that they can get those students to meet those high levels. It is going to be hard work if you come over and join our team, but it is going to be fun. And we are looking for people who are, have that ability to engage young minds, people who can really, relate with the students and get them excited and as passionate about the material as you are. Some things to be aware of is there are some current visa restrictions, but we do understand that things are constantly changing. Things changed a lot through last year and things continue to change, but we do have a visa team at each school that work with us, work with our team so that we can make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible. Great, but I do look forward to speaking with many of you and hopefully finding you a home here at BASIS.
Great, thanks, Tony. A couple of other things I think are great to be aware of. So in terms of, what does the BASIS Curriculum Schools Network look like? So we are a network of 9 international schools and 6 US-based independent schools. We currently have, we have 8 international schools in China. We have 1 international school in Bangkok in Thailand, and then 6 different campuses throughout the United States. In terms of the BASIS curriculum, like we mentioned before, the curriculum is something that it's a little bit more accelerated than what you typically see. It is rigorous. One of the things that we really like to see in the early grades, K through 4, is we're really looking to build the love of learning. So teachers that have that passion, the excitement for learning, that understand the different learning stages and know how to get students to those stages is something that's really important. Once they have that love of learning, we then want to transition that into an academic mindset where we're really starting to build those skills of critical thinking and creative problem solving, help to help them see that they can accomplish things as they struggle through challenges, overcome those challenges, and build the confidence that they see in their learning. And then in the upper school grades, we're really looking to foster the college and the university readiness. This is where they're taking university level courses and really preparing them to be very successful in their future higher education endeavors. In terms of the results of what that's looked like, of the graduates that we've had of our international schools, they've actually seen pretty great success. Over 90%, in fact, 96.5% have been accepted in the top 50 universities, and 77% have been accepted in the top 30 universities, including great schools like Boston University, Cornell, Duke, Imperial College of London, MIT, Rice, Chicago, Oxford in the UK, University of Toronto in Canada, Rhode Island School of Design, as well as other great arts schools and great liberal arts colleges that they've attended as well. We're great to see some success that they're able to find through the program. In terms of future growth, one of the great things about being a part of BASIS is that you will have access to future opportunities. We are continuing to grow internationally, particularly within China. We do have schools that will be opening up in the near future in Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin. We will also be opening international schools where we have bilingual schools, where we have international schools like in locations like Hangzhou and Guangzhou as well. So we're excited about some of the growth that we do have. And again, what that means to individuals considering careers with us is that you have the opportunity to build your career with plenty of runway to take on new responsibilities and develop through the network directly itself. Some things that we think are kind of important to be aware of. As Kira had touched on, the schools we have, they are mostly local students, meaning that English is a second language for the vast majority of the students. So being aware of how to incorporate ESL or ELL components into your lessons is something that's important to be aware of. Also, many of our schools are growing rapidly, and some of the schools are also going to be opening. That being the case, things will be developing and things will be changing. A school that opens with 400 or 500 students the first year and has 700, 800, 900 students the second year is going to look very different from first year to second year. So having that flexibility is also important. Fortunately, those specifically considering Hangzhou, even though it's only in its fourth year, is pretty much at they're already at capacity with waiting lists, and they're actually going to be building some additional space to accommodate more of the students that have expressed interest. For teachers that have students that will be accompanying them, something that's interesting and I think very important to be aware of is that, again, the curriculum is accelerated, it is advanced. And so it is challenging. A lot of times we are sometimes in some subjects 2 years ahead of what is typically considered standard. And that being the case, really making sure that your student that might be accompanying you is really prepared and ready for a basis level education is something that's important. Not only are we looking for great teachers, but in selecting BASIS to pursue your career, we want to make sure it's not just a good fit for you, but your whole family. If you're going to be bringing your family to one of our schools, that's something that's important to us to be aware of. With that, that covers the bulk of the information that we do have. In terms of next steps, something that you would want to do is visit our career site. We do post all of our open positions to our career site. So if you go to jobs.basisinternationalschools.com, you'll be able to see all the positions that we have there. You'll be able to see information on the schools, the locations where we have the schools, and possibly more importantly, there's a link to our blog. On our blog, it does have insights from our teachers where they share their experience. They share their stories. They tell, what is it like to teach and work at a BASIS school? What is it like to live in that particular city? What have they seen? What challenges have they experienced? And what do they enjoy about being there? Something that I think is actually quite insightful. And people do share their real stories. So feel free to see some of the experiences that our teachers have shared. Lastly, there's also a link on our career site where you can join our interest list. By joining the interest list, You'll receive occasional updates of what is happening in our schools, developments, exciting events that have happened in the schools. You'll hear more of the experiences of our teachers, and you'll also hear about openings as they do come up. So feel free to join the interest list. We do share a lot of information about the schools, again, in our teachers' experiences through our social channels. Feel free to join us through social on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We have a YouTube channel and Pinterest as well. All right, with that, we would like to answer some of the questions that did come in. So Tony, I know you've been tracking the questions. Any particular questions that have come up?
Yes, we have had a couple of great questions. The first one is, would there be professional development for teachers who come from other curriculum?
Great question. Kira, do you want to speak to that? Maybe I'll kind of add to some of your thoughts as well.
Sure, I would love to speak to that. One of the things that Tim talked about was the teaching and faculty mentoring piece. That is the heart of our mission, and it's interesting. I had a conversation with a teacher just yesterday who is a new teacher, and he said to me, "You know, it's been so refreshing to come into a school where there is actually a teaching and mentoring piece to our initial entrance into the school." And so, yeah, we observe our teachers quite often during that first few months of their time here. But you know, prior to the observations, there's a summer institute. And during that summer institute, you receive a lot of information just about basis, about how we do things, what the curriculum is like, but also you will have workshops on some of the latest and greatest research-based strategies, instructional strategies that you can use in the classroom. And that's been an exciting piece. This last year, it was actually also online. So you were able to see teachers from all over the network in China as you were online learning together. So I think that's an incredible piece regarding the professional development and the way we do our professional development. We also have PLCs, professional learning communities, which means that you can gather together with a group of your colleagues in whatever division of the school that you're in and learn together something that you truly want to learn, want to become better at. And sometimes it is directly linked to the curriculum, and then other times it's directly linked to learning outcomes. So yes, there is a very detailed organizational plan in relation to helping our teachers in the professional development.
That's great. And I might just add to that, you know, the basis curriculum is actually a unique curriculum. We've taken components that we've loved about other curricula from around the world. And so regardless of what curriculum you've been focused on, bringing your strengths and what you've seen in that curriculum and adding to what we have and learning from other individuals who have backgrounds in other curricula is also important. I think the thing that's of greatest importance to us is people who have great teaching ability and are very passionate about teaching and engaging the students in their classroom. So, great. Next question.
Great. Next question. What is the maximum class size that we have at Basis?
Great. Kira, do you want to share what that looks like in Hangzhou?
Could you repeat the question, Tony?
What is the maximum class size that we have?
Thank you. I didn't hear it. It cut out in the middle for me. 25. 25 is the maximum class size. Mm-hmm.
Great. And we got another question to kind of go off of that first question is, do teachers get to make decisions regarding what topics to choose for the PLCs? And are the teachers allowed to host?
Yes, most definitely. They are. We just had a session where teachers were brainstorming the PLC ideas and what they would like to learn more about, most definitely. And then they choose within their group who their facilitator would be. And it's very, very exciting, learning together, collaborating together.
Great. Next question. Can we provide some examples of what might be taught maybe in middle school to help people get an idea of what the rigorous curriculum is like?
So when we talk about math, our students are learning math at a year or 2 years above the rest of the students in the world. So in 6th grade, we could have a track that's running, you know, more the pre-algebra or algebra. And so it just goes from there, honestly, you know, the pre-calc, the algebra 2, pre-calc. And so many of our students in middle school are already receiving a lot of the high school math classes. So that's a good example for math. Science is the same. You know, we'll have our biology and chemistry and physics in middle school, which, you know, some of the international schools in the world have an integrated approach to mathematics, where we have a deep dive approach, which helps prepare our students for the AP classes. And so, you know, we have students taking APs in 9th grade, when a lot of schools, you know, it's 10th and 11th grade that you're taking your APs. So those are just some small examples of that middle school and high school approach.
Great. Last question. Do we anticipate they're going to be having any more, and this isn't necessarily for Hangzhou, but just basis in general, do we anticipate any more schools in Thailand opening in the near future?
It's a great question. We are looking to continue to grow our schools and be able to bring the basis education to communities throughout the world. In terms of you know, immediate growth, I think we kind of listed out the schools that we have planned out here in the next couple of years. Down the road, if there may be an opportunity to add additional school in other locations, we're definitely looking at that. But I think we kind of listed out what we're focused on for the next couple of years.
Great. Those are all our questions.
Okay, wonderful. Well, great. Well, Kira, thanks so much for sharing about your school and some of the insights about Hangzhou. Again, one of my favorite places that where we have our schools. If you have additional questions that you would like to ask, feel free to contact us. Our email address is careers@basisinternationalschools.com. And again, feel free to connect with us through our social channels, join the interest list, and follow our blog, where we share a lot of insights about the experiences that our teachers are having, and you can get a little bit better feel for what it's like. We do have some additional videos on our YouTube channel, specifically about Hangzhou, so you can get some additional insights there as well. But thanks for joining us for our webinar today, and we look forward to being in touch with you as you consider opportunities with Basis International Schools. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.